I grew up celebrating Emancipation Day, so I automatically knew that enslavement took place in Canada. I just did not know how close to home it was in the Niagara region, or that the Chloe Cooley incident occurred just in nearby Queenston. I was shocked, unbelievable for me.
Rosemary, this is really the culmination of years of work to have Chloe recognized.
Yes, it is, and I'm so excited that it finally happened. I think that it's critical in terms of telling the story of Canada, and it's critical in terms of defining how and what freedom in Canada really looked like and meant.
Tell me about the upcoming lectures in this series.
Okay, so this year is a continuation. We started off from last year, back by popular demand, the Friday Fireside in February lecture series. And we're going to be talking about, again, different sort of topics that we hope that are exciting, certainly to the people that are coming to it. I mean, we're talking about Brock, the man, the myth, the legend, which Amanda Gamble, the executive director of the Friends of Fort George, is going to be talking about that. So we're going to learn some new and interesting things about Brock that don't normally pop up when we start to talk about the guy in charge here. I'm going to be talking about certainly an awful lot about artifacts. I'm going to grab a whole bunch of artifacts from our collection up top and bring them down and talk about that and relate that to certainly the lifestyle of the period and certainly the folks that were stationed at Fort George. And then the third one is a little unique. It's not easy being green, where we always think of the British Army in red, but that's not necessarily always the case. And they're going to talk about those who were uniformed in green, in particular some Canadian regiments that served during the War of 1812, that were indeed dressed in green.
The exact location of where Chloe was dragged across the river is really not known. We have some ideas, but I think that if we put it at Queenston Heights with the likes of General Brock and the likes of a previous plaque that I was able to work on, the Colored Corps, and as well as another one on the Black Defenders of Niagara, I think that this adds a very important element because it more defines the beginning of freedom in this country.
You worked very hard to make sure that Chloe Cooley found her way on a stamp. How satisfying was that when that happened to you?
I was so thrilled when I was able to see Chloe Cooley on a Canada Post stamp. I was on a Canada Post Stamp Advisory Committee for 2 terms. They put up with me that long. And I was able to plant a number of seeds. Some of them I saw actualized during my time there, and some which will continue to come forward in the coming years. Chloe Cooley's stamp and Chloe Cooley's story is critical, in my opinion, because we need to have those touch points that help to define very important aspects of Canadian history and Canadian identity. Her story does that.
In March 1793, Chloe Cooley, an enslaved woman of African descent, living in Queenston, was violently seized, bound, and transported against her will across the Niagara River to be sold in New York State. She screamed and resisted but could not break free. Peter Martin, a Black loyalist witness, brought the horrors of Cooley's capture to the attention of the Executive Council of Upper Canada. His testimony emboldened Lieutenant Governor Simcoe to pass legislation restricting enslavement, making Upper Canada a refuge for African American freedom seekers. Her courageous actions exemplify the resistance of enslaved women.
Parks Canada presents 3 more Fireside Fridays at Navy Hall in Niagara-on-the-Lake, February 9th, 16th, and 23rd. Meanwhile, this plaque beside me, representing Chloe Cooley's story, will soon be installed at Queenston Heights Park, overlooking the exact site where Chloe Cooley was taken across the Niagara River. Reporting in Niagara-on-the-Lake for The Source, I'm Mike Balsam.